Today's the first day of an epic cross-country drive that we're going to take from Los Angeles back here to Delaware, and we're going to take the southwest route, but first we have to get to the airport. We're in Philadelphia right now. We're hopping on the plane, me, my two teenagers, Nate and Grace, and we'll end up in Los Angeles. Got into the terminal, we got our bags checked in, and that's when a rep for Spirit Air announces the flight was canceled. Not delayed, not pushed back an hour or two, flat out canceled. Of course, they worked on rescheduling everybody. Our next flight was the following day, Sunday. But this time, instead of a direct to LA, we had a layover in Atlanta. But there was nothing else to do. That's what we had to take. Getting in the car, getting up early, getting to the airport, we later found out that was the easy part. You see, Spirit Airlines did everything in their power to make this as difficult and excruciating as possible. So we were disappointed, obviously. Nothing else to do. We had to deal with it. And frankly, we just did a do-over the next day. Same time, same airline, and this time it went much easier. So on the jetway, getting on the flight, Spirit announces that the flight's canceled. Again, a second flight in a row, canceled. People went crazy, nuts. Everyone came off the jetway. The Spirit person, again, announces, we're going to try to accommodate. We're going to try to get you on alternate flights. The people went nuts. So much so that the police were called in to quell the crowd. The police, however, they got so frustrated with the Spirit person dealing with the situation that they threw their hands up in the air and they walked away. They said, "You're on your own," and left the angry crowd to feed on the Spirit people. Thank you. That was good. About a half hour later, they announced that the flight would now be delayed 2 hours, which ended up being 3. Not a problem. We hung out in the airport, ended up boarding the plane around 11:30 in the morning. Takeoff was fine. This time it was perfect. However, remember, we're going to Atlanta for a layover. We missed the connecting flight. Our flight out of Philadelphia to Atlanta was so late, so delayed, our connecting flight took off already. So there we are, stranded in Atlanta now. Strike 2 for Spirit. Regardless, we start looking at other flights, other alternatives to get to LA from the Atlanta airport. And Spirit doesn't have another flight going out until the next day. And that's when things started getting real crazy. Because it wasn't just us, it was a whole bunch of other folks too that got left in Atlanta. And that second strike was enough. We were done with Spirit. And that's when we made the choice. We jumped on a Delta flight direct to LA. It left 6 o'clock that evening. Getting on the flight was effortless. Takeoff was seamless. Landing was picture perfect. Despite all that, our baggage, however, ended up on that flight to Atlanta, the Spirit flight. Spirit then, for some reason, sent it to Detroit and then to Dallas. So we didn't have our luggage by the time we got into LA, and we still didn't have it until the following day. Strike 3. So despite all of that, Spirit was gracious enough, lovely enough, to offer us a $50 voucher. Very kind of them. I hope the sarcasm comes through. But I do have to say, not everything at Spirit's bad. We really dealt with some fantastic people there, including Elvis at LAX, who helped search for our bags, get them delivered to our hotel the following day. Omar in Philadelphia, who got us rescheduled the following day, and frankly, he also got us bumped up to first class too on the trip to Atlanta. And then Mr. Francisco in Atlanta, who got us out of Spirit at no cost onto a Delta flight to complete the trip out here. So Spirit did everything possible to keep us from getting here, but despite all that, we made it, and welcome to Hollywood. So after spending the day in Santa Monica and West Hollywood, we were finally able to meet up with Ethan for the very first time. He was gracious enough to pick us up at the airport and take us over to his house.
California. Are you happy with the amount of time you spent in the car today?
What a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Outrageous traffic. It was nuts.
There was a little bit of traffic. We hit a little bit, but we're here.
It was a little bit. That took an hour.
It was a little bit over an hour. I think maybe an hour and a half to get here.
It was
from the airport, but
it was enough.
That's okay. You already had a long travel time here, so adding another hour and a half wasn't a big deal, right? Okay.
Just part of the journey.
Yes. Okay, so before we get to the E38, I think you want to check out some of the...
Yeah.
All right. We're going to check out some of my other collection of terrible broken cars. I'm going to feel a little bit sad about this because it's not in the best shape. Tires are flat.
Yeah.
Don't mind that. This one is probably in the worst shape of the vehicles that I have. And it's probably gotten the least amount of love, but I should just show you this. This is the best part of this vehicle. You might notice there's something missing here.
Oh, a pillar.
Generally, there's a pillar there.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. Yep. Check this out.
And I see the tires are inflated.
Tires are inflated.
Yep.
This guy, I topped off the oil.
Thank you.
Why don't you have a seat?
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look. So and it's clean too. Check you out.
It's clean. A little thing right
I thought
here.
that was like the blue pill, red pill.
So this right here is very important. Take a look at that.
Window sticker, 69,000.
This car was,
which is like 100,000 today.
yeah, 110,000.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
You did it?
Yep, $69,000 in 1997 is about $110,000 for. Yeah, so this is an $110,000 car you're gonna be driving.
I'm feeling it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to step up our game.
Yeah, maybe it hasn't held its value, but.
You ready?
Watch, it won't start.
All right, now.
Yep.
Woo! There it is.
Power.
It was great to finally get a chance to meet Ethan. He was so generous, so hospitable. We got to meet his family, hang out with him a little bit, take a tour of the cars and all the great things that he's got going on over there. It was late though by the time we got the keys and got out of there. Too late to go through a walk around and take a look at the car and really get a good feel for it. So the next day we're here in Lake Hollywood at the park with the iconic sign in the background. So why don't we run over there now, we'll take a look at the car, do a quick walk around, and I'll share it with you. There it is, 1997 BMW 740iL, my chariot to the East Coast. All right, for a 23-year-old car, it's actually really nice. Look, stuff like this, that'd be all rusty. It'd be a big mess back at home. Has good tires. One of the driving lights is out, not a big deal. This, well, you know, we're not gonna talk about that. Put that back in place. Headlights, the badge is actually pretty decent. Oh, and the hills out here are nuts. I mean, it's almost like they're vertical. You don't get stuff like this in Delaware. Oh, and this guy. Yeah, look at that. That's in the back seat. Apparently that doesn't stay on. Not a big deal. From the back, I got my Delaware license plate, $20. I got a 30-day plate to get me back home. Clear brake light lenses. Inside, tan leather. Needs some adjustments, not a big deal. Oh, yeah, and, well, forget that. And the cup holder too. There's, well, it's just kind of push it back in there. I'm told it's something like 210,000 miles, but it's really hard to tell because the odometer's all whacked. Out back though, you have sunshades like a celebrity would need. You have nice leather, lots of leg room, a footrest, center armrest, some snacks, and backpack. Under the hood, 4.4 liter. I think it's 280 horsepower, maybe a little more. Has a 5-speed transmission. It actually drives really nice. I'm really pleased with it. I got high expectations. This is gonna get us home. Don't know for sure. I smell oil burning a little bit from the engine. I'm hoping it's just something simple like a valve cover. But otherwise, it has nice power, it shifts well, handles well. It's quite a nice driving car. Oh yeah, and this. As long as it doesn't rain, I think we'll be fine. So that's that. That's the BMW. Great big thank you to Ethan at Hello Road. He's so generous, so kind. It was fantastic to spend time with him. He was a great host. My only regret is not being able to spend more time with him and more time here in LA. Look, it's lunchtime, we're hungry. I was told that when I got out here, there's one place I had to check out for lunch. Let me show you. Tell me when you're on.
I'm on.
All right, first bite. In and out, here we go. That's good. That was all right. I'm glad we made it. Thank you.
That was 2 shirts and 2 sweatshirts.
Oh yeah, 2 shirts.
So after 2 great days in Los Angeles, it was time to start the trip east on our way to San Bernardino. So we left LA in the Hollywood area earlier this afternoon. We drove about 4 hours to get to San Bernardino, and this is our first leg on the trip east, right, to get back home. Now, GPS this morning said an hour and a half, but we left around 3 o'clock or so. We left Hollywood about that time, and all of a sudden it became a 4-hour drive. Outrageous the amount of traffic. I've never seen it so much and so far spread. Every corner, every turn, every street, every road, every highway. It's just wall to wall. But check out this stop where we're staying. Tonight's our first night east, and we're staying in a wigwam. This is the Wigwam Hotel, Route 66 in San Bernardino. Check it all out. Look at that. How crazy is that? Let's get inside. Take a look. This is a wigwam? Where's the rest of it?
It's still on.
We got 2 rooms, 2 beds. Hey, we got a mini fridge. What's that, bathroom? Whoa, what are you doing? Oh, Grace is in the bathroom? I like your style.
She doesn't know there's a light switch.
We got a little window down here. Right? Oh, look, right next to the dumpster. Where's the ceiling? I thought it would go all the way to the top.
I did too. I'm kind of
Oh,
disappointed.
that's a little disappointed too. Oh, you got the whole triangle
There's
theme.
light in here.
Nate was messing with it. What do you got? Where's the rest of it?
It's not here, Grace.
Classy, and we got, oh yeah, it's like 1962 in here. Look at the tile. Ah! All right, let's get out of here. You have the air conditioning on?
I'm trying.
All right. I think it's safe to say they're not as enthused or impressed with this thing as I am. This is gonna be a lot of fun, regardless of like, I don't know, 2-star rating for this place. I have no idea. Look, the car on the drive here did effortless. It was flawless. It did just fine. There was a stretch of the drive for maybe a mile or so that we got up to about 70, 75 miles per hour, and it was smooth. It didn't pull. There was no shakes. The brakes, they didn't wobble. The steering wheel didn't shake. I mean, it was really a very nice driving car. Air conditioning's cold. It did everything it was supposed to do, at least as basic transportation, right? For a 23-year-old car, it did fine. And I'm excited to see how much longer this thing's gonna last. I don't wanna jinx it. I don't wanna get ahead of myself, but I'm really pleased and really thankful to Ethan also for this opportunity to drive this thing. So right now, we're tired of sitting in the car, tired of driving. We're gonna go get some dinner, and we're gonna wrap up the night. Just a couple miles from the reservation, we found this restaurant, this Mexican restaurant. Top notch, man. That's first class right there. That's my style of eating. You know, earlier we went to the In-N-Out, and you know how people build it up, and all of a sudden when you go someplace, the expectation and reality doesn't quite match. Look, I'm glad to go to In-N-Out and give it a try, but I'd be fine never going there again as well. So finding Matilda's, that was a treat. All right, let's get back to the TP. I tell you, what a great way to wrap up a long day. The wigwam, it's not 5 stars, but this is cool and this is a lot of fun. A few things I learned in my trip in LA is, first, I love LA, right? Randy Newman, you know that song? Fantastic. I mean, I had so much fun. A few takeaways though is that there's traffic, man. It's everywhere, every corner, every street, every road, every highway, every intersection. It was nuts. It was constant. And even though something may be 5 miles away, it still takes 30, 40 minutes to get there. It was crazy. Folks love to use the horn as much as they use the turn signal. It's a race between stoplights. However, when there's pedestrians crossing the street, ungodly amount of courtesy and respect to pedestrians crossing the street. I mean, it's just, traffic stops instantly. It stops and people just walk on by. The drive here was fantastic. The wigwam was cool. I love spending this much time with the kids. I mean, I adore it. And I have to remind Grace that all the time too, by the way. So we're here in San Bernardino. Tomorrow's going to be another leg of the trip. Thank you for watching. Thanks for following. And I'll catch you on the next video.